So a while ago, I made a video talking about how much I love social media. Follow me on this and that. But since that time, I've developed a different opinion. Nowadays, I think it's unhealthy and harmful even. Originally, I thought it was a fascinating concept to post your thoughts, share your life, document your growth and change as a unique human being. But now, especially if you're lucky enough to achieve even a modicum of success, there are people on hair triggers standing by to come over your entire history and literally crucify you over something you said 15 years ago. It doesn't matter if you were going through mental health issues or if you were misinformed or naive. It doesn't even matter if you've changed since then. You're canceled, blacklisted, hated even. That's scary. It's crab mentality, and to me, that is disturbing. Instead of all the crabs linking together and helping pull each other out of the bucket, they pull each other down and die. Beyond the risk of damage to your image or livelihood, I have found social media to be mentally unhealthy. At first, I thought it was amazing to be plugged in to what was happening. I loved those viral breaking news posts about a new Invader Zim being announced, or, Final Fantasy VII Remake finally has a release date, or Sora is coming to Smash. Truly amazing news. It felt great to be in on the conversation, share good news, promote awesomeness and positive things. But then I started to notice some negative things. And it may not seem like a big deal. But for instance, you're scrolling through your timeline and you're liking, all these awesome things. And say one person in particular is posting good stuff consistently, all the time, day after day. And you're liking them, just post after post, all day, every day. And after a while, you notice, well, they never like any of my posts. So that's an awkward dynamic. They're, posting and scrolling and all this stuff, and I assume they're liking things, but they're not liking anything that you do. So what do? Do you unfollow them? Do you stop liking their posts? What do they think of you if you're, apparently thirsty or something, liking all their stuff, and they scroll past everything you make? And that's just very uncomfortable. Here's another one. On Instagram, you make friends, you're liking each other's posts for years even. And one day, out of the blue, you notice they unfollow you. I had the app that let me know. And there's this gut punch feeling of oh no, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Did I offend them somehow? There's just all this negative energy running through. It's heartbreaking. And I did not like that at all. Very, very uncomfortable. Also, after a while, it turns into a bit of a numbers game. Now, personally, I love numbers. But for me, it's more like number patterns or creating big numbers, rather than just receiving the numbers, the views, the likes. After a while, there's a shift of focus, and you start to do things, not because you think they're awesome, but so you can get views and likes. And that's not you living your best life. Now you're fretting over, why your latest videos didn't receive the same acceptable level of praise, and you're trying to people please, and that's not good. You shouldn't be overly dependent on other people's opinions. Yeah, but I want to be popular, famous, and that would be great. I've desired that. Who hasn't? To make your name sound like Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, Jonah Hill, NathanGDavis. Wow. So you start thinking of how you can get your follower count up. And you notice other people's follower count numbers. And if their numbers are bigger than your numbers, then somehow that makes them better than you or more deserving of praise, reverence. And you can't help but compare yourself to other people when you're online. Well, so-and-so just got a house. Or, they, got married, had a kid, got a new job, they moved to some exotic place, or this 17-year-old just patented this and that. So what are you doing? You have nothing. You are nothing. You're worthless. Nobody likes you. Is the kind of vibe that I was getting. So I was like, well, I'm going to need to take a step back. There was also this sense of insanity, anti-reason, virtue signaling, and backing these feel-good issues, which to me were just insane, but nobody else seemed to think so. For instance, New Zealand was trying its best to spare their youth the scourge of cigarettes and lung cancer. And everybody was just up in arms about this. And I posted my 2 cents, which I was wont to do from a place of experience and reason, health. And people on either side of me were upvoted in the hundreds, and I got nothing. So how embarrassing for me. Yeah, the outrage of the week had been going on for quite some time, but the overall message of reason has no home here really ramped up at the end of my social media stint. But I closed my accounts. And since then, I've been trying to live my best life. At first, I really struggled with this sense of like, well, if I don't post everything I do on social media, do I even exist? Kind of existential dread feeling. But that passed after a while. And occasionally I do have nightmares where I'm back on Facebook and it's horrible. But that's all it is now. It's a bad dream, soon to be forgotten. Me, I'm back in school with no growing debt this time. I watch things that make me laugh. I study Japanese. I paint. I draw. I play the piano. I'm not subjected to people's toxic opinions. I'm not subjected to incessant advertising. I'm just doing my best to be the best possible version of myself I can be, to improve myself and others, and try to find my way in the world. Now, if I could just keep my dad off the news outlets. Nathan, did you hear about the latest outrage? Or this thing going on with Ukraine? And it's like, look, there is nothing at all that I can do about that. I cannot change gas prices by force of will. There is nothing I can do here. I mean, believe me, I would love nothing more than to step up and be the wonderful counselor, the mighty God, the Prince of Peace, and end all suffering and wars and create heaven on earth. But people didn't like that idea. So if you have any advice on how I can make $1 million or become famous, please let me know in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. God, I hate it when people do that.